Today we are going to discuss the second part of accounting, that is analysis of financial statement. From the name itself, we know analysis, analyzing the financial statement. So, what is financial statement? The last year we studied financial statement includes mainly balance sheet and profit and loss account. Balance sheet means a statement which shows the financial position of the organization. Profit and loss account we prepare for calculating the exact profit or loss. That means analysis of this financial statement means analyzing the balance sheet or analyzing the profit and loss account. In the case of company, we prepare one more statement, that is notes to accounts. That is all the details or explanatory notes that be written in the notes to accounts. That means in the balance sheet and profit and loss statement, we write only the exact values, not the calculations. All the calculations we done in the notes to account statements. So analysis of financial statement means analyzing this balance sheet and the profit and loss statement. For this analysis, mainly we uses 4 techniques or tools. The first one is comparative statement, and the second one is common size statement. Third one ratio analysis, and the fourth one cash flow statement. The first two, comparative and common size statement, that we discussed later. Then the third one is ratio analysis. Okay, what do you mean by ratio? We know that we studied in the mathematics class, that is the ratio. Ratio is the arithmetical expression or the relationship between two numbers or two variable or interdependent or related items. Listen, in the meaning of ratio, ratio is the arithmetical expression of relationship between two interdependent or related items. That is, it shows the relation of related items. This ratio we uses in the financial statement. That is called the ratio analysis. Through this ratio analysis, we can easily understand the financial statements data. That means we can easily understand the financial position of the organization and also the operating efficiency of the organization. Ratio analysis means ratio is a study of a relationship among the various financial factors in a business. That means with the help of this ratio analysis, we get the clear picture about the financial statements, that means the balance sheet and the profit and loss account. The main purpose of this ratio analysis or the objective of ratio analysis is to simplify the accounting information. At the preparation of P&L account or the profit and loss account and the balance sheet, we use a number of accounting terms and techniques. So through the analysis, through the ratio analysis, we can simplify our accounting data. So it can be easily understandable to all the users. Users means bankers, investors, creditors, etc. That means ratio analysis simplify our accounting data. That is the first objective. Then the second objective is to determine the liquidity position of the business. What is liquidity? Liquidity means the solvency position of the organization. Solvency means the debt repaying capacity of the organization. So the liquidity means the short-term debt repaying capacity of the organization. That is the current liability repaying capacity. In the ratio analysis, we prepare number of ratios. Through the liquidity ratios, we can clearly identify the current liability repaying capacity or a short-term liability repaying capacity. Then the third objective is to assess the operating efficiency. In the ratio analysis, we prepare or we calculate stock turnover ratio, trade receivable turnover ratio, that type of activity ratios we calculated. Through this way, we can measure the operating efficiency of the organization. The last objective is to measure or analyze the profitability of the organization. In the ratio analysis, we calculate gross profit ratio, operating profit ratio, net profit ratio, etc. Through these ratios, we can clearly analyze or identify the profitability capacity or profitability condition of the organization. So these are the main objective of ratio analysis. First one is to simplify the accounting information. Second one is to assess the liquidity position of the organization. Third one to evaluate the operating efficiency of the organization, and last one to analyze the profitability of the organization. The next topic is advantage of ratio analysis. The first advantage is useful tool for analysis of financial statement. This financial ratio analysis is helpful to understanding the financial position of the organization, that is bankers, investors, creditors, etc. They want to know the operational level of performance and also the financial position. With the help of this ratio analysis, they can clearly get the idea of operating efficiency and the financial position of the organization. That is the first advantage. And the second advantage is simplifying the accounting data. Ratio analysis simplifies, systematizes, and summarizes the accounting data. Through this way, through the ratio analysis, we can easily simplify, or the end users can easily get the idea of financial statements, that is the profit and loss statement and the balance sheet. Third one is useful for forecasting. We study in the business studies, the management have 5 functions: planning, organizing, directing, staffing, and controlling. That means the ratio analysis is helpful for planning and forecasting. Through the calculation of trend ratios, we can plan our future activities and forecast our activities and implement these policies and plans effectively in our organization. That is the third advantage is to forecasting. We can useful for the ratio analysis is useful for forecasting. Then the next advantage is useful in assessing the operating efficiency of the organization. We already mentioned that is that we calculate number of ratios. Through these ratios, we can easily evaluate our level of performance and liquidity level, solvency level, etc. So that is the next advantage, to measure the operating efficiency of the organization. Then the last advantage is useful in locating the weak areas. Ratio analysis helps in locating the weak areas of business even if the business is running in good. Through this way, we can easily identify our defaults, and then we can next year onwards we can correct our faults. Through this way we can earn more profit. That is the main advantage of ratio analysis. These are the main advantages. Useful analysis of financial statement. Second one is simplifying the accounting data. Useful for forecasting. Useful in assessing the operating efficiency of the business. Useful in locating the weak areas. And the ratio analysis have a number of limitations also. The limitations are: first one, false result. Ratio analysis mainly depends on balance sheet and the profit and loss statement. If there is any mistake in balance sheet or profit and loss statement, that will adversely affect the result of the ratio analysis. That is the main fault of ratio analysis. The reliability of ratio analysis depends on the result of accuracy of the financial statement. If it is false, then the reliability of the ratio analysis also be affected. Then the second one is qualitative factors are ignored. In the case of ratio analysis, we consider only the quantitative aspects, not the qualitative aspects. These aspects also be necessary for the decision making. So that is the next difficulty, disadvantage of ratio analysis, that we didn't consider the qualitative aspects. Personal judgment. Third limitation is personal bias. personal judgment is also being important in financial statement and financial statement. So accounting ratio are not free from this personal bias or the personal judgment. That also be the another limitation. Then the fourth one is window dressing. The last year we studied that the window dressing means manipulation in balance sheet. That is the concealing the vital facts in the balance sheet. That is the window dressing. If the balance sheet is this type of manipulated, then the ratio analysis result will also be affected. Then the last one is lack of standard ratios. For the ratio analysis, there is no standard accounting ratio and it has no clear-cut rules and regulations. So it is not used as a standard one, and it is not used for the comparative study because it has no clear-cut rules and procedures. These are the main disadvantages of a ratio analysis. The first one is false result, second one is qualitative factors are ignored, third one is personal bias, fourth one is window dressing, and the fifth is lack of standard ratio. Then the next head is classification or the types of ratios. Ratios are mainly classified into four categories. That is liquidity ratio, solvency ratio, turnover ratio, and profitability ratio. In the liquidity ratio, mainly we calculate two ratios, that is current ratio and liquid ratio. In the liquidity ratios, we measure the short-term solvency of the organization. That is short-term debt repaying capacity of the organization. Then the second one, solvency ratio. In the solvency ratios, we calculate the long-term solvency of the organization. That means long-term debt repaying capacity of the organization. In this solvency ratios, we calculate proprietary ratio, interest coverage ratio, debt equity ratio, etc. Then the turnover ratios. Turnover ratios measures our operational efficiency. That means with the help of this turnover ratios, we can clearly evaluate our level of performance. In the turnover ratios, we mainly calculate stock turnover ratio, that is the inventory turnover ratio, trade receivable turnover ratio, trade payable turnover ratio, working capital turnover ratio, etc. Then the last ratio is profitability ratio. Profitability ratio measures the profitability condition of the organization. It assesses the organization's level of performance and also the profitability. In this ratio, mainly we calculate gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, and operating profit ratio. These are the different types of ratios: liquidity ratio, solvency ratio, turnover ratio, and profitability ratio. The first ratio, that is the liquidity ratio. Liquidity ratios are those ratios which are computed to evaluate the capability of the entity to meet its short-term liabilities. That means in the liquidity ratios we calculate the short-term solvency of the organization, short-term debt repaying capacity of the organization. Then liquidity ratios mainly classified into two categories, that is the current ratio and the liquid ratio. In the current ratio is the relationship between current assets and current liabilities. Liquid ratio is the relationship between liquid asset and current liabilities. That we know what is current asset. Current assets means assets which can be converted into cash within 1 year, that is called current asset. Then what is current liability? Current liability means the liability which have to pay within 1 year. Current ratio is the relationship between current assets and the current liability. The formula for calculating the current ratio equals current assets divided by current liability. That is the Current assets example stock, debtors, bills receivable. These are the examples of current assets. Then current liability means trade payable, that is the creditors or bills payable, and then short-term bank loans. These are the examples of current liability. For example, in your firm have a liability of current liability of rupees 1 lakh, and the current asset is rupees 2 lakh. Then the current ratio of your organization is ideal one, that is 2:1. That means the firm have the capability to meet its obligation within its time. That's why the current ratio 2:1 is the ideal ratio. Then the next or second liquid ratio is liquidity ratio is liquid ratio. There is a other name is quick ratio or acid test ratio. It shows the relationship between the liquid asset and the current liability. Liquid assets means all current assets except stock and prepaid expenses. Then current liability, that's a liability, that means the creditors, bills payable, bank overdraft, short-term loans, all these are. The ideal ratio of liquid ratio is 1:1. That means if you have the asset of 1 lakh, then if you have the asset liability of 1 lakh, that is ideal one. That is the liquidity ratio is ideal. That is the 1:1. Then we are going to discuss the problem of a current ratio. That is the current assets divided by current liability. Then the first question, calculate current ratio. Then the items, debtors, prepaid expenses, cash, short-term investments, bills payable, creditors, inventories, expenses payable, machinery and debentures. From this, firstly you calculate the total value of current assets. Debtors, prepaid expenses, cash, short-term investments, inventories. These are the current assets. Then take the total of these 4 items. Then the liabilities are, short-term liabilities are bills payable, creditors, expenses payable. We know that machinery is a fixed asset, so there is no need to add it to the current asset. That's a fixed asset. Then the debentures also a long-term liability. It's not included in the current liability. So for the calculation of current assets, take the total of these 5 items. Current assets equals, take the total of all these values, that is 1 lakh plus 10,000 plus 30,000 plus 20,000. Current asset is equal, first value, debtors value 1 lakh plus 10,000, cash value 20,000, 30,000 and the 40,000, total is 2 lakhs. Then calculate current liability. Current liability, bills payable is our current liability 20,000 plus creditors 40,000 plus expenses payable, that is 40,000. Total is 1 lakh rupees. Current ratio equals current assets divided by current liability. Here the value is 2 lakhs is the value of current asset and the 1 lakh is the value of current liability. That is equal 2:1. That is the current ratio. Then the second question, calculate current ratio. In this case, total assets value 3 lakhs, fixed assets 1,60,000, shareholders 2 lakhs, non-current liability 80,000, non-current investments 1. In this question, there is no information of current asset. Directly, there is no information of current asset and the current liability. So we calculate the value of current assets and current liability from this information. In the last year, we studied the equation, accounting equation, total assets equals total liability. And also here the value is total assets is there. Total assets is equal fixed assets plus non-current investments plus current assets, that is equal to total assets. So total asset equals fixed asset plus non-current investments plus current asset. Here the value of total asset is here, fixed assets is here, non-current investments is here, but the value of current assets is not. So we calculate the value of current asset. Total asset value is 3 lakhs. That is equal to fixed assets value, that is equal 1,60,000 plus non-current investments 1 lakh plus current asset. Then current asset equals this 3 lakhs minus 2,60,000, that equals 40,000. Then next step is to calculate current liability. Total asset equals total liability. So total liability equals non-current liability plus shareholders fund plus current liability. Non-current liability plus shareholders fund plus current liability. Total liability equals total assets, so the total liability value is 3 lakhs. Equal total liability value is 3 lakhs, non-current liability value is 80,000, then shareholders fund value is 2 lakhs plus current liability. Then the current liability equals 3 lakhs minus 2,80,000. It equals 20,000. Then current ratio equals current assets divided by current liability, that equals this 40,000 divided by 20,000 equals 2:1. And this question, current assets value is 4 lakhs, inventory value is 2 lakhs, and the working capital value is 2,40,000. Then the working capital equals, we know, current assets minus current liabilities. Then 2,40,000 equals 4 lakhs minus current liability. So the current liability value equals current assets minus working capital, 4 lakhs minus 2,40,000, that equals 1,60,000. Then current ratio equals 4 lakhs divided by 1,60,000, that equals 2.5:1. Then the fourth question, trade payable on rupees 50,000, working capital 18 lakhs, current liability 6 lakh. Calculate the value of a current ratio. Trade payable, that means that's a current liability, but the value of current liability are directly given in the question. That means this 50,000 is included in the value of a current liability. So current liability equals 6 lakhs. Then working capital value is 18 lakhs. Working capital equals current asset minus current liability. So current asset equals working capital plus this current liability. Working capital means 18 lakhs plus current liability value rupees 6 lakhs. That equals 24 lakhs. So current asset value is 24 lakhs. Then current ratio equals this 24 lakhs divided by 6 lakhs equals 4:1. In this case, 4 lakh, that means 24 lakhs is the current asset value and 6 lakh is the current liability value. 4:1 is the current ratio. Okay, thank you.